Greetings, greetings, greetings. Hotep, Hotep, Hotep. So, 4 years ago today, I came back from the flea market, Funland Flea Market. So, this was July 4th, 2020. I talked to Letitia, and let me make sure I talked to Letitia that day. I'm not sure if I talked to Letitia that day. I know I talked to her that Thursday. And it seemed like Veronica Williams was hiding on the other side of the van as we talked. Seemed like Letitia was recording our conversation. Should I say what I was talking about? I was saying how I never wanted to go back to, should I say the person's name? No, a person that I used to sleep with because they had to have oral sex and sex 3 times in one night, and I had to get up at 3 a.m. and get ready to go to work at Mycon, which is now called Hood Containers. I was working at a box making company out in Oldsmar on Commerce Boulevard. And I was telling Letitia that I was going to be able to pay her money back because I met a guy and he said he was going to help me get on my feet and I was going to help him. So I was going to help him tie up loose ends and collect the monies that were outstanding and owed to him. And he was going to give me 50% of whatever I was able to collect. So I was happy about that, and he had given me some cash, so I went to the flea market and I was paying people back, $20 over here. I think I owed Christine 20. I owed, what's the heavyset Caucasian guy that used to sell the candy? I can't remember his name. I owed him 10. I gave Letitia 20 that I borrowed from her, and she seemed really interested, and I should have just kept my mouth shut, but I didn't. So that was okay. So it didn't go off. So when I got back to the house, Veronica Davis was on my heels, and Lawrence said, "Go with her." I said, "No." There was a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. God said, "Don't go." And Lawrence said, "Go with her, go with her." And I obeyed Lawrence over God. And Veronica and I, went to a yard sale on 40th Street across from the Crab Shack, adjacent to River Pines. When we got there, she introduced me to Connie's daughter, and Connie's daughter got into a little black sports car and she was leaving. And I remember saying to myself, I believe she finna go and pitch Lawrence's attention, try to have sex with Lawrence. And I was like, should I say something or should I just let it happen? And I think my pride said, let it happen. The smart thing would have been to say something like, I know you're not going to go over there and try to hunch my man. But I didn't. And we stayed for a long time looking at, odds and end crap that didn't interest me at all. I was concerned about Lawrence. I told Veronica I was going to go back to the house. So it seemed like she wanted to distract me. So she gave me Ebony's food stamp card, her food stamp card, and said, go buy me some mullet from the Crab Shack. I stood in line for about an hour only for them to tell me they didn't have no mullet. When I came back, or maybe it was before, I can't remember the order. There was a man walking from a house over by the river. She said that's Connie's daughter's husband. I said, he had on red and black. Eschew in the negative, the trickster. So I said, I'm going to go sit in your vehicle. And I went and sat in Veronica's truck. And she eventually came back over there. I said, I'm going to just walk back to the house. So she said, y'all want something to drink? And she offered us these little juice boxes. I drank 2, and I was feeling like I shouldn't drink this. I don't really trust her like that. I drank it anyway. I think now, 4 years later, and I'm just having this thought, that day, whatever I drank might have been roofied. And maybe that's when they went in my navel and did things to me, maybe took out eggs, maybe gave me an IUD, and maybe went in my knees. I don't know what happened. I'm missing time. Somebody has medically been inside of my body, and I don't I can't account for that time. So 4 years ago today, and I haven't had a penis inside of my body since Lawrence. That would have been May when we last had sex, May of 2020. That day when I got back from the yard sale with Veronica, Lawrence was looking weird in the face. I said, "Did somebody come here?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Did you eat or drink something?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Who came here?" He never would tell me. I said, "What did you eat? What did you drink?" He never told me, but he said he wanted to go. Well, the lady next door, Carolyn from the Fat Albert Daycare Center, called him and told him, "You need to go to the doctor." He said he wasn't feeling well all of a sudden. And so that Monday, I took him to the doctor, and later that evening, he said he wanted to go to the hospital, and I took him. And that's when he was diagnosed with COVID. That was, okay, so if Saturday was the 4th, Sunday was the 5th, Monday was the 6th, he went to the doctor and then to the hospital. That Saturday, I asked the next door neighbor, Carolyn, to listen out for him, and I went to buy some, what do you call it, antibiotics to give to him to try to see if he could feel better without having to go to the hospital. He wanted to go to the hospital anyway. I had no right to tell him not to go. So I took him to the hospital like he asked me to. During COVID, you couldn't go inside the hospital. You had to drop him off at the curb. So I dropped him off at the Florida Advent Hospital on Bruce B. Downs and Fletcher. And he was dead by July 14th of 2020, according to Rita, his daughter.